No matter how hard you try to hide your dirty secrets and come out to pretend to be good person, a day will come, everything will be exposed. Malema, the leader of the economic freedom frauds and indeed the president of illegal foreigners, has been exposed beyond our expectations and his reputation damaged beyond repair at the Madlanga Commission. Leaked WhatsApp messages between him and General Khan in 2021 on how he conspired with General Khan and Mr. Syed to orchestrate the removal of the Inspector General of Intelligence, who was sought and obtained confidential VBS bank case information, left everyone in shock. Not only this, he also allegedly paid for the arrest of members of Operation Dudula who were against illegal foreigners as far back as 2021. It was also exposed that Balimi Barui Trading Limited, a company owned by tenderpreneur Hendrik Kanyago, alleged to have paid bribes to the EFF in exchange for tenders in the city of Chwane for an amount nobody can believe. You know, when such a big name is implicated on a big stage like Madlanga Commission, not every single episode of his criminal deeds will be let out to the public. Some will be withheld by the mainstream media in order not to ruin his reputation, but I got you covered. I have carefully arranged all the most sensitive and explosive clips about Malema today at the commission. Take a sit, grab a cup of coffee, and stay with me till the end of the video. When Lieutenant Mkhwanazi tried to expose Malema, he quickly came out to debunk the information, but today everything is out and Mkhwanazi was right. If you support Mkhwanazi and believe Malema should be jailed, hit the like button, comment Viva Mkhwanazi and Malema to jail, and please don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Now, Jabulani, start rolling the bombshells one after the other.
On Mr. Malema is to be found at page 283. And as Mr. Malema did respond to that notice, I think, in fairness, we should read out his response into this record so that his response is there for the public to see. It may make, because the response is a response to the notice, it probably makes sense to start with the notice at 283. And the notice says, it's headed in terms of Rule 3 of the Rules of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, you're hereby given notice that on 6 June 2026, the Commission's investigator, Mr. Tsepo Nyatlo, submitted an affidavit in the Gauteng High Court under case number, and case numbers given, in response to an urgent application brought by Major General Feroz Khan. This affidavit referenced certain WhatsApp chats between Mr. Mohammed Sayed and General Khan. Referenced certain WhatsApp chats between Mr. Mohammed Sayed and General Khan in the years 2020 to 2023 that were extracted from General Khan's cellular mobile device. The affidavit will be canvassed when General Khan testifies at the Commission from 1 July and refers to chats that implicate you in matters under investigation by the Commission, in particular as follows. And then 6 potential implications are listed. The first is that in June 2021, you, General Khan, and Mr. Sayed seemingly conspired to orchestrate the removal of the then Inspector General of Intelligence, Dr. Dintwe. 1.2, that through Mr. Sayed, you sought and obtained confidential information from General Khan in relation to a criminal case that had been opened against you in Sandton, and the case numbers given. Specifically, you were provided with the name and physical address of the complainant in the matter. The case concerned the VBS bank scandal in which you are alleged to have received bribes from the chair of the bank. 1.3. On 30 July 2021, Mr. Sayed asked General Khan if he could forward to you a disciplinary notice that General Khan had received. The appearance was that you would be of assistance. On 3 August 2021, Mr. Sayed forwarded to General Khan details of the company Berta-Bright that had bid for a tender for fleet management for SAPS. He stated that it came from Juju and said, "I think he wants us to do it." in July 2021, there were allegations in the media that Berta Bright secured a fuel tender in the city of Tshwane by paying bribes to the EFF. 1.5. On 5 September 2021, Mr. Sayed sent General Khan a voice note in which he stated the following. Quotes, Juju called me now. He said that your things are coming along very, very nicely. It's moving along very rapidly, but just give him some time, but it's going to happen for sure. 1.6. On 22 September 2021, Mr. Sayed sent General Khan a message of support from Mr. Malema in relation to his disciplinary proceedings. Quotes, I forgot to tell you that you called me, said you will not ever resign, no matter what. This is a fight, and we will emerge victorious. The details of the allegations and the chats themselves are set out in Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit and annexures to the affidavit, the relevant extracts of which are attached here to as Annexure A. And then paragraph 4 was giving 10 days to file the statement. I won't read the rest of the statement. The affidavit starts at page 287. And because Mr. Malema's response is addressed to the affidavit, maybe it may make sense to briefly canvass what's in the affidavit. Paragraphs 55 and 56 address the Carney Links relationship with the EFF. Paragraph 57 addresses the apparent conspiracy to remove Dr. Dintwe. Paragraph 58 deals with Mr. Malema soliciting details of the complainant in the VBS case. Paragraph 59 deals with Mr. Sayed asking General Khan if he could send details of the disciplinary process against General Khan to Mr. Malema. Paragraph 60 and 61 deal with the fleet management tender and the allegation that Berta Bright was alleged to have bribed the EFF. And the inference from the chats that Mr. Malema wanted General Khan and Mr. Sayed to do the fleet management tender. And paragraph 63 to 65 relate to the alleged messages of support from Mr. Malema to General Khan in relation to his disciplinary problems. Mr. Malema's answer is at page 316, and I should read it out in full. It says, my name is Julius Sello Malema, MP. This serves to respond to the Rule 3 notice of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Criminality, Political Interference and Corruption in the Criminal Justice System, brackets, Commission Rules, brackets, Notice, in terms of which you provided me with an opportunity to respond thereto if I so elect. I so elect. Save where otherwise stated, the facts set out herein are within my personal knowledge and are to the best of my belief both true and correct. Where I make submissions of a legal nature, I do so on the advice of my legal representatives. I've been invited to respond to a vermins contained in an extract of Mr. Tsepo Nyatlo's, Mr. Nyatlo affidavit, which supposedly implicate me. As a starting point, the evidence of material alleged to implicate me in Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit are largely purported extracts of communications between Major General Feroz Khan, General Khan, and Mr. Mohammed Sayed, Mr. Sayed. I evidently cannot confirm whether these extracts are a true recordal of their engagements or the authenticity of those extracts. Only they can. I do not understand the Commission to require me to so confirm. I simply record this point to note that my response will be curtailed to claims that are in my personal knowledge and relate to me. Ad seriatim response to Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit. add paragraph 55. And the Commission will recall that paragraph 55 concerned the Carney Links relationship with EFF. It wasn't an issue specifically identified in paragraphs 1.1 to 1.6 of the notice. Mr. Malema's response is the following. I do not see how the contents of this paragraph implicate me. It is also not apparent in the notice and Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit extract. This matters because I was required to respond to material that implicates me. This is a proper qualification by the Commission, lest I'm asked to deal with personal material that falls outside the terms of reference of the Commission's work and having no bearing on its fact-finding mission. Absent clarity on how I am implicated by this paragraph, I am in no position to meaningfully respond in my defense. I'm uncertain whether the very claimed facts in this paragraph implicate me per se, or that the Commission will draw inferences therefrom. This applies with equal force in respect of the other aspects of Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit, save where the context or language itself clearly implicate in relation to the terms of reference of this Commission. The contents of these paragraphs are nonetheless factual claims. Save with inaccuracies, I will correct momentarily that I have voluntarily stated in the public domain since the inception of the EFF. As an example, I voluntarily stated at the EFF 10th year celebration event, which was perhaps the most widely publicized EFF event, that Mr. Mazzotti, who is the CEO of Carney Links, donated funds that helped register the EFF. It is also a matter of public record that my wife used to reside at a property that is in the same complex precinct at Mr. Mazzotti, under a lease agreement, which is underlined. I place underlining emphasis under lease agreement, as correctly recorded in Mr. Nyatlo's affidavit, in contrast to other media reports and claims that I stayed there gratuitously. Add paragraphs 57 to 65. Paragraph 9, I deny that I conspired to orchestrate the removal of Dr. Dintwe. Paragraph 10, in any event, I regularly receive information from various sources, some covert, some public, that relates to my work as a Member of Parliament. This paragraph is not an invitation to me. Some come from private citizens and some from public officials like the police. As a case in point, I have met with General Mkhwanazi, who shared with me the investigations about the murder of a popular artist known as AKA. It is my concern, and indeed my interest, to receive information about the working of our public service officials who I have a task of holding to account. Nothing is or could be implicating, if nothing more than receiving assistance of how to hold a public official accountable is proffered. Be that as it may, I do not have knowledge of the exchanges between Mr. Sayed and General Khan. I deny any inference to the contents of these paragraphs to the extent that they infer any unlawful conduct on my part. To the best of my knowledge, I deny any Berta-Bright bribery of the EFF. That is Mr. Malema's affidavit. It speaks for itself.
I take it there's no response to 1.2 of the notice.
To 1.2 of the notice.
On 284. I mean, 1.1, that is the response you've just read.
If we were to go through the notice, Mr. Malema has answered 1.1, and he denies a conspiracy. He says he isn't aware of the chats between General Khan and Mr. Sayed, and he explains the role that he plays in holding public officials to account. When it comes to 1.2, he doesn't engage with 1.2. But if we continue further, he also doesn't engage with 1.3. But again, that's about the conversation between Mr. Sayed and General Khan about forwarding the disciplinary notice. He wouldn't have had personal knowledge of that. 1.4, he denies bribery by Berta Bright. but doesn't engage with 1.4 any further. And he doesn't respond to 1.5 and 1.6, which deal with the voice note and message allegedly reproduced from him by Mr. Sayed to General Khan. Maybe I'm going too quickly here, and I should slow down, and everything should be flowed. Sorry.
You can tell who the source was. That's good.
Solidarity on the Commission is breaking down, Chair.
Please continue, Mr. Shaskalson. Thank you.
Well, maybe if we can start at the top. The top, if we go one up, is the message that straddles 5963 and 5964, which was forwarded from Mr. Sayed at message time 101:31 on the 10th of June 2021. And what this is a deleted photograph of someone. And underneath it, at the same time, there is a picture of an Operation Dudulo banner or poster, which says we'll be removing all illegal foreign nationals by force, calls for a meeting in Dipkloof Hall on the 16th of June, and has the threat, if you're operating illegally, you better pack and leave before 16 June. If we go over to the next page, still at the same time, and one sees that the first four messages all have the same time, because they are in fact forwarded messages to General Khan from Mr. Sayed. He forwards, "Must I tell the General? Must be arrested tonight? Yes." So those are 5 messages that are forwarded messages with the same timestamp, and then Mr. Sayed explains from Juju. That's a message from Mr. Sayed to General Khan. And then what comes afterwards is another forwarded message which says, "Okay, done." So essentially what Mr. Sayed is communicating is that he has been asked by Mr. Malema to forward the first 5 messages to General Khan. Well, he's been asked by Mr. Malema to forward those messages to General Khan. He has, in the second last message with the timestamp 101:33, he explains to General Khan that it's from Mr. Malema, and then he forwards his response to Mr. Malema, which is, "Okay, done, I have forwarded these to the General." Now that takes place on the 10th of June. The very next day, if we go down to 5971, General Khan sends to Mr. Sayed draft questions for the Inspector General of Intelligence. And that is at 11th of June at message time 1:51:47. And again, we have a problem that we frequently had with these message times, that they're 2 hours out because they are UTC, not South African Standard Time. So the questions that General Khan has drafted are: convicted drug dealer and member in the agent program, and the name has been redacted, claims to be close friends with you. Is this true? 2, do you take instructions from this person, as he alleges he has a close relationship with you? 3, what gratification does the Inspector General of Intelligence enjoy from this person? 4, how long has the Inspector General been a captured public service servant of, and then that person? So these are draft questions that General Khan has prepared, which he is going to essentially ask Mr. Malema to arrange to be put to the Inspector General in Parliament through the EFF. if we go down to page 5975, and sorry, I just want to emphasize at that stage, General Khan is not dealing directly with Mr. Malema. He is sending messages to Mr. Sayed. But the channel is to Mr. Malema, whether Mr. Malema is aware of General Khan's motives or not. We see that because at 5975, Mr. Sayed sends back to General Khan questions that have now been formulated to the Minister of Police and to the Inspector General of Intelligence. And these questions, and in fact the name is not going to be redacted in these questions, I'm told the name's been mentioned publicly already. These questions that Mr. Sayed sends back read as follows. First, questions to Minister of Police, written reply. 1. Do you have any relationship with convicted drag lord? There's a misspelling of drug lord. Drag lord Tumi Marimutu. If so, what's its nature and does it include discussing crime intelligence matters? 2. Have you been in contact with Tumi Marimutu and discussed crime intelligence matters related to the Inspector General of Intelligence and the removal of General Jacobs as head of crime intelligence? 3. Have you had any discussions with convicted drug lord Tumi Marimutu regarding the supposed deal made by former President Jacob Zuma and Major General Feroz Khan that he will use state intelligence resources to ensure the election of Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma as president of the ANC? If so, what security clearance did Tumi Marimutu attain to discuss crime intelligence matters with you as a minister? Those were the proposed questions to the Minister of Police, and the proposed questions to the Inspector General follow. 1. Do you have any relationship with convicted drug lord Tumi Marimutu? If so, what is its nature and does it include discussing matters relating to crime intelligence? 2. Have you had any discussions with Tumi Marimutu regarding the removal of General Peter Jacobs as head of crime intelligence? If so, what security clearance gives Tumi Marimutu access to you as the Inspector General of Intelligence, particularly as it relates to discussions of crime intelligence matters? Mr. Sayed explains below, Juju sent me now. General Khan's response is, excellent, bro. Let's go to war. When are they sending it to him? And what one sees in the exchanges that follow is what one often sees in WhatsApp exchanges, where people respond to a message while the writer of that message is writing another message, and so you get responses that don't respond to the immediately preceding message. You have to work out what they respond to. So Mr. Sayed says, are you happy with the questions? In other words, are you satisfied with these questions that Mr. Malema has sent me to be put to the Minister of Police and the Inspector General of Intelligence? But then, in response to General Khan's question, when are they sending it to him, Mr. Sayed says, let me ask. Now answering whether he's happy with the questions, General Khan says, yes, bro, and then says, this should get him to lie, and in return, we can ask for his removal because he lied. So what General Khan is disclosing here is that the purpose of these questions is not to establish whether the Inspector General has a relationship of any nature with Tumi Marimutu. Rather, it's to trap the Inspector General into lying in an answer to Parliament and then to use the fact that he will have lied to orchestrate his removal. Mr. Sayed is still responding to the previous inquiry inquiry of General Khan, which is when are they sending the questions, and he says at 65977 at 12 June 2021, 8:49, but I think it's been sent already. He then responds to General Khan's message saying, this will get him to lie and then we can get him removed. And he says, absolutely, he's going to deny it and then he's effed. Bye P ... And General Khan agrees with the abusive description of the Inspector General, says big P. Mr. Syed then says, when is it going to be fired off to them? And what we see later is that this is in fact a message that he has sent to Mr. Malema, which he's now forwarding to General Khan. The response is tomorrow. General Khan says they must fix up the spelling of drug in paragraph 1. In other words, Mr. Marumutu is a drug lord, not a drag lord. And he then, responding to when it's going to be fired off and tomorrow, he says, thanks, bro, much appreciated. And Mr. Sayed then sends a screenshot of his exchanges with Mr. Malema, which show that the formulation of the question to the Inspector General of Intelligence came from Mr. Malema. That's the top of the screenshot. Paragraph 2, have you had any discussions with Timmy Marumutu regarding the removal of General Peter Jacobs as head of crime intelligence? If so, what security clearance gives Timmy Marumutu access to you as the Inspector General of Intelligence, particularly as it relates to discussions of crime intelligence matters? In fact, Mr. Sayed, even before General Khan had picked up the drug lord problem, has already responded to Mr. Malema and said drug lord, not drag. And then Mr. Malema says the whole DR. I'm not sure what that relates to, but we then see a 2249 on the screenshot. If we go back up, 2249 is what we see at 2249 is when is it going to be fired off, and the answer comes tomorrow at 2258. If we go back up to 5977 and we add the 2 hours to the UTC times, we see that when is it going to be fired off to them, it's recorded as 8:58 p.m. You add the 2 hours, it's 10:58, and tomorrow 10:58 as well. So he has forwarded that exchange with Mr. Malema immediately that it happens, and has then, for good measure, added the screenshot. The next episode in this process takes place on the 13th of June. And it takes place, it's on page 5980. And there, maybe, scroll down. And there, Mr. Sayed forwards to General Khan a message about the progress of the questions. He says, Parliament will probably only process them on Monday, but they process them and then send to respective ministers and institutions. A week later, at 6002, we're now on the 20th of June, Mr. Sayed forwards to General Khan a screenshot from Mr. Malema. And what the screenshot shows is that Mr. Sayed asks Mr. Malema, brother, when are you back? Mr. Malema says, tomorrow. Mr. Sayed says, okay, let's meet tomorrow evening, please, with our general. Mr. Malema says sharp, and there is an XAP response from Mr. Sayed. General Khan thanks Mr. Malema for setting up the meeting. So thanks Mr. Sayed for setting up the meeting with Mr. Malema. And Mr. Sayed says, "You are my brew, no need to thank me." That is the 20th of June. Now, I want to clarify what our issue with that, sorry, there's actually a further step